Hi class, Dr. Diaz here to talk to you about Module 2. I'm going to go over what you're going to be learning this week and what you're going to work on and how to do it and why. I have my laptop here and some water because we're going to do some talking. And I'm going to start by going over the objectives for Module 2, and then I'll talk to you about what you're going to be doing. So let's look. It says formulate a valid, relevant, researchable topic based on current knowledge gaps in the field of psychology. Apply an experimental design most appropriate for a novel research question, and address ethical concerns in a novel research project. So what this means is in week 2, you have an important thing to do. You have to start thinking about what is your research topic. I know I was reading a lot of your discussion posts and welcomes. A lot of you have an area that you're focused on and interested in. If you don't, and you're more explorative right now, saying, I'm in psychology for the first time, and I really like it because it's broad and it's applicable to all things in life, now is the time you're going to start narrowing down what it is you want to research and what is going to be your research topic. If you're having a problem kind of corralling that idea, just be simple. If I was a student and I said I love everything and I'm looking at psychology for the very first time and I'm excited and I want to do research on something but I don't know what, I would always recommend to start with what is familiar to you. So if children are familiar to you, you can start simple and say maybe I want to learn about the opinions of people who have children and who do not. On this certain discussion topic. And then you can slowly start to brainstorm how you can come to a research topic. Maybe parenting, maybe children's behaviors. Maybe you're a pet lover and you have an animal and you can find out things about different opinions between people who have animals and as pets and those who do not. The point is, start somewhere familiar in your life and work from there. And that's if you don't have a research topic and you're in mind already. I know a lot of you have a passion and a certain field, and a lot of you guys have already a certain population you want to study. So if I was coming in and I knew I wanted to study aging or elderly, the elderly, and how I can help them, then maybe for this class I can make a research topic focused around helping the elderly. So whether you know what you already want to research or you're still learning and figuring it out, always start from the most familiar place, which is inside you, and find something of familiarity and move from there. So in this week 2, it's all about forming that research topic, because eventually we're going to take your topic and we're going to produce a hypothesis, a specific question out of it. So I'm going to keep with one example throughout this video to make it easy for you. If I said my research topic is helping the elderly, I'm all about it, I want to help them, I want to know more. Eventually in this class, you're going to make a hypothesis, and that's a specific question. So for me, it's well, what is my hypothesis on the elderly? And I'm going to say, I think that it's going to be, I want to know if there's a difference between men and women and their willingness to help the elderly. So my hypothesis may one day turn into, is there a difference in gender when it comes to the willingness to help elderly? And that is a specific research question, and I could go out and conduct a study and find answers to say yes or no on the significance of gender when it comes to being willing to help the elderly. That is what this course is going to be doing for you. So when you choose your research topic, know that it's going to eventually become a hypothesis, a specific question like the one I just gave for an example. Let's check out the work you have to do in Module 2 when you're starting to form your basic research topic. This is a broad thing. The topic is broad. Again, my example is the elderly. There's so much that could be said, but right now we're just keeping a broad topic. Number 1, you're going to be doing a milestone project. Your final project milestone 1. It's a paper. Very straightforward, and I'm going to go through the rubric with you. So let's look at this. Open up the rubric for your paper for week 2. It's called Psych 510, Milestone 1, Guidelines and Rubric, Topic Selection, Search Terms, and Preliminary Research Question. So I'm going to go through these. You have 3 critical elements in the rubric, and once again, please do use these elements as the headers for your paper. It's going to be highly influential, and it's necessary. So number 1, the first header on your paper should say topic. And like I said in my announcements, you don't have to use verbatim, but it does have to be somewhat in that relevant wording. So number 1 here, it says topic selection. You can easily just put topic or put topic selection. Either one I'm fine with. Okay, so to do well in this, this paper is going to talk about the ideas that you're going to form, the research topic, and we are going to try to challenge you and get a research question. So let's look over the main points first. This paper is going to do the following. The topic is what you're planning to focus on for your final project. Don't get too concerned about that sentence. Your topic may change a little bit, but what you state in this paper is not going to be the official final. Like, let's keep my example going. The elderly. Let's say I say in this paper, my topic that I'm planning to focus on is the elderly. A list of search terms related to your topic that plan to use peer-reviewed articles for your final project. What this means is when you go online, like Google Scholar or any type of article database, you're going to need to know keywords to look up your topic. So the elderly will probably have key terms to look them up. Such key terms could be the word elderly, gerontology, old aging, issues in aging, fragility. All of these are excellent search terms for the topic of the elderly. The next thing is a research question. Now let's keep in my example. In my paper, if I was writing this paper, my topic is the elderly. I just gave a list of search terms, and then my research question, I'm going to take some time and think about this, and my research question that I came up with was, is there a difference in gender when it comes to being on the willingness to help the elderly? So I just met all 3 criteria with this example. And let's look at them one by one. So critical element number 1 in the rubric, topic selection, states the topic you are planning to focus on for the final project and provides a description of that topic. So this paragraph is going to tell me about your topic. If I said my topic's the elderly, I need to put a paragraph or 2 about the elderly. And you're going to have citing from empirical research articles, sources. You can look them up on Google Scholar, use SNHU's library or their article repository or their online article databases. But you're going to talk to me about your topic. I want to know about your topic. The next paragraph in your paper, the headers can say search terms or keywords. It says provides a list of search terms that you plan to use to find a peer-reviewed article. Do not just put a list of words with commas. This needs to be a paragraph. This is a paper, and in our course in graduate school, we are going to be writing formal papers. So part 2 of the search term is going to be listing these words. So what we're going to want to do here is write a paragraph that says the following search terms are going to be used when searching for my topic selection. And you're going to have these search terms. The following terms are, and you're going to list those terms and tell me why you're going to use those terms. Perhaps there's terms that shouldn't be used, that should be used, but I want you to make a well-written paragraph that says these are the terms I'm using and why. The reason I chose these terms are the following reasons. Talk to me about it. The last piece is the research question. This paragraph, please have the header call it research question. And it says creates a research question that is based on the topic mentioned. In my ongoing example for this video, my research question is there a significant difference in gender when it comes to the willingness of helping the elderly. In this paragraph, I'm going to write the research question focused or derived out of my topic of the elderly is specifically looking at gender differences in willingness to help the elderly. My research question is, are there significant difference in gender, by gender, in the willingness to help the elderly? Okay? So that's what this means for the research question. The last piece is the articulation of response. I do this piece. It's not a header. It's not a paragraph. If you read it, you would see it says, submission has no major errors related to citations, grammar, spelling, syntax, or organization. So what that means is I look over your entire paper for these elements, and then I help in assessing that, and that's part of your paper's grade. So we just went over the rubric. This is paper 2 that has 3 sections: topic selection, search terms, and the research question. Okay, let's continue forward. The next 2 pieces, I'm just going to talk to you about the procedure of it, not the content, because it's straightforward. Your discussion, you're going to be talking about variables, and I want to drive home the point that we now are in week 2, and you do need to have a minimum of 3 sources cited in your initial post, and a minimum of 1 source cited for every individual response post you give to a fellow student. So I know you're required 1 initial post, and you're required to have 2 response posts. So please put a minimum of 3. If you don't, it does not meet the exemplary category, and it does affect your grade. And please put a minimum of 1 source in each response post you give to each individual fellow student. That's the cover or the discussion for your variable discussion. The next piece is huge important part of this class. It says that it's ungraded, but it is going to be affecting you in the sense of we need to know this knowledge in order to do well in our class, and that is looking at articles. It says 2.3, annotated article, part 1, review. Again, I'm talking to you while I have the window open in our learning module 2 folder from our class website. And it says, read through the introduction of this research article to better understand how these articles are structured. Highly important that you do this. You're going to be reading a lot of articles, not only in this class, but in grad school alone. You are reading tons of articles. So please do this. Take note of how they wrote the article, from the intro, the literature review, the methods, the discussion, and the results, and the discussion. 5 sections of that article, because you're going to be writing the same thing in terms of a paper, and your paper at the end of Psych 520 will have all 5 sections: intro, lit review, methods, results, and discussion. It's now in Psych 510 that you're going to be writing your intro, lit review, and methods, and it's called a proposal at this point. So this is everything that you're going to be doing in Module 2. Once again, it's all about formulating your research topic, your research question, and it's going to be kicking off the wheels will start turning now when you get into week 3, because we're going to start looking up articles relevant to your research topic. We're going to be looking at a literature review, an annotated bibliography, lots to come ahead of us. And right now in week 2, it's all about forming that research topic so you can get a good research question made. I do want to conclude and just say, as an example for this, my example research topic is the elderly. The research question within my research topic is significant difference between gender in the willingness to help the elderly. And what I can do with that is I can do a survey and have them indicate whether they're male or female, and ask them a series of questions that would help lead me towards their opinion on whether they would be willing to help an elderly person or not. And then much later in 520, I would look at my results, make analyses, and come to a conclusion that yes, there is a difference, or no, there is not, when looking at gender and the willingness to help the elderly. I hope this was helpful. Again, have a great time learning in Module 2. Lots of really fun things, because it's the fun piece of this is brainstorming your research topic. So once again, if you already know the field or the topic area you want to get into, start thinking about what is your question then. What is your question going to be? If you are still exploring and you're wondering what topic or field you should be in, I recommend that you start from a familiar place and move forward. Let's say if you're a pet lover, but you still don't know where to go, you could think about something like, what about pets and happiness? Do people who have pets, are they happier than those people who do not have pets? That is a significant question, and that is a valid research topic. There's a lot to be said about pets and therapy and emotions and psychological well-being. So do you see how I started? If I was someone who had no clue what topic I wanted, but I knew I loved pets, I started to think, what about pets as a research topic in happiness? And what if my research question was, is there a difference between, in happiness, levels of happiness, or happiness and sadness, between people who have pets and people who do not have pets? So nice little examples, very clean, to help you understand how you can find your own research topic and question. All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye.